Hey Capricorn, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, check your other major placements. And if you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button because it helps other people find my channel and it makes me happy. We are starting with an intuitive vibe with these oracle decks. The Moonology deck and Work Your Light. Okay, you look like you want to be here. Okay. And then we'll move on to the Tarot of Mystical Moments for a more traditional tarot spread. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Okie doke. Oh, I can see. Oh dear. There's a lot here. This is my oh dear. I'm not. I feel like this one's to me. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Okay, there's a lot of cards here. A lot of cards here. We're going to breathe out. We're going to relax. We can get this done. We can get this done. What do you need to release? Your breath. Stop holding your breath. Waning moon. Time to breathe out. What do you need to release? This is a time for relaxing. A time for letting things rest. It's wintertime in my hemisphere. It is wintertime. So this is a time of relaxing, less work, chill out, exhale, breathe out, let go of some things, let go of your tension, let go of your breath, let go of your tension. It's time, it's downtime, and it's safe to move on. It's time to breathe out. It's safe. Like, you know, we get this anxiety rush. We get, you know, our body sometimes thinks there's a lion chasing us when it's not. It's just maybe some bills. And this is like, it's time to breathe out. Let that go. Let your, you know, brain reabsorb the anxiety chemicals. It's time to relax. It's time to breathe out and let go. There are adjustments required. I feel like this adjustment so far, we have a message that the adjustment required is more relaxation, more enjoyment, more allowing what is to be, more breathing out, more relaxation. Maybe this week you need to just do some breath work and focus on letting some things flow through, letting some things out, letting some things go. So third quarter moon adjustments are required. This is like you're getting somewhere, but you got to shift your focus, shift your energy. Something needs to be shifted here. And it kind of looks like it might just be a stress level issue or a breathing issue or just letting something go, releasing control. Releasing the need to be on top of something, releasing the need to know what's happening next or where this is all going. You don't need that. You don't need that. And then you have trust the niggle. Of course, the quieter you get, the louder your niggle gets. So if you're breathing out, you're releasing things, you're making some adjustments, trust your intuition. Your intuition's right about something. And you need to be listening to it. What's the niggle feeling trying to tell you? Actually, might be time to just ask yourself that question. Maybe you're having some anxiety about something, and what is that anxiety trying to tell you? What is that anxiety about? Like really looking more clearly at, I'm feeling something weird here. And maybe, you know, maybe this anxiety has metastasized to my whole life when in fact it's just this one thing. It's just this one area, this one place, this one niggle. So looking at what is causing you to hold on so tightly, what is causing you to hold your breath, what is that? There's something there, and that thing may need to be addressed. You're trusting that niggle. That thing may need to be addressed, but maybe, you know, we don't need to let it affect every aspect of our life. We can just, what is that? Generalizing, you know, when there's just one thing that's not going well in your life or one little glitch, and then suddenly you're like, the whole thing sucks. And that's not it. Just make sure that one little thing, that niggle, that one little thing that isn't quite right, that needs adjustment, make sure that's not being, you're painting your whole life with that brush of everything needs to be fixed, everything needs to be adjusted. No, just relax. Breathe out, do some breath work, Make some adjustments, shift some things. Maybe it's your back that needs adjusting. There is something here that you need to pay attention to, but it doesn't have to be this big body clenching thing. It's just this one little thing. And then mirror who or what is triggering you. You might be projecting, and I feel like this is a little bit of that trust the niggle and what we've discussed so far. You may be projecting onto a situation from one situation that's not going well, or this one thing going on over here. You may be, projecting that like a big, like an actual projector. Like here we've got our big movie screen. It's actually this one little square right here that's not well, but we've projected it into this whole huge, suspenseful, difficult thing. So mirror who or what is triggering you. There could be a sense of misplaced, what do you call that misplaced anger or misplaced frustration or something, displacement or something where you make it about something else. Like there's something bothering you, and that needs to be looked at, but you maybe have put it onto other things, or this core thing that's actually bothering you may have been projected onto other things when it's just this one thing. So in mirror what's triggering you, this is about also, it's like the whole world and all of your experiences are a bit of a Rorschach blotch. You bring the interpretation to everything, every encounter you have. You're bringing that interpretation. So what interpretation are you bringing to what's going on? You are feeling something's a little off here. You do know some adjustments need to be required, but maybe it's not the whole thing. Maybe the adjustment is just to relax. But there's something here where you're bringing some sort of interpretation. You're bringing something to it that is coloring your interpretation of what's going on. So this is saying it's safe to relax. Yeah, something needs to be adjusted, but it's small. It's not a big deal. It's safe to relax, and you may be projecting, or you may be having some displaced emotions where it's about this one thing, but you've giganticized it into everything else, right? Maybe some little part of you just needs a witness, that niggle. It's what's the niggling feeling trying to tell you? I really feel like this is saying go ask yourself a very specific question and deal with that little specific pea in the mattress. If we're talking princess and the pea here, there's a pea in your mattress. That always sounds really weird, like you wet the bed, but there's a pea in the mattress, and so go look for that pea. Don't throw the whole pile of mattresses out, or don't get upset like none of these mattresses are working. There's a pea there, and it's not the whole mattress set. So that's how the message I'm getting from these cards all together. And then we have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse, some sort of new beginning, some sort of insight. This is maybe the pea disappearing, getting eclipsed, the pea in your mattress getting eclipsed. So I feel like it's just one little thing that's bothering you, and it might have become a much bigger mountain out of a molehill, a whole mattress out of a pea situation. And I feel like just dealing with this one thing that's bothering you, this one way in which you're interpreting something differently, or you've projected something, shifting that is going to, bring everything else into a more relaxed state. All right, Capricorn. It's fascinating. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Okay. Well, you've got a lot. I think it was you and Virgo that both had a lot of major arcana going on here, and everyone else just has a normal to a small amount. So there's a lot about power. There's a lot about institutions. There's a lot about not feeling patient. And there's a lot of things out of your control. There's a lot of things out of your control right now, actually. That's what I'm seeing here. We have the Emperor. This is power. This is a question about power. Who's in power? Who's in control? Who's got the power here? You may have been feeling very powerful, very much in control. You had, you delegated tasks to people. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you wanted. You felt like a divine right to have a say here, a divine right to tell other people what to do, which is fine. There are positions like that, and we each have a different position like that at different points in our lives. Where, as a mom, mom. It's my right, and not only my right, but my job to kind of direct people and tell them a little bit what to do. Not quite, so I'm not very controlling, but get to tell people what to do. But so this could have been you. I mean, it's the job, right? It's not like I'm a control freak. It's just like that's what the job of being a mom entails oftentimes. So it's not necessarily that someone was a control freak, but it's not necessarily that they weren't, right? So you could have been sort of a control freak, a bridezilla type thing, where it's like way a little bit out of control, a little bit outsized. But again, we're seeing an institution here. We've got more institutional stuff with the Hierophant. We're seeing some sort of like societal, this is the time, this is the place. You maybe had a boss that had delegated to you, but there's something here about control. Who has the right? Who has the say? Who has the right to control things? And it's coming next to this Hierophant, so it seems like there might have been traditional role here of who gets to say, who gets to have control here, who gets to delegate, who has all of that say. So this is something about power and something about control and something about who has the right to do that and who has the say. And I'm also seeing in this particular depiction of the emperor an institutional right, or this is how it's always done. This person is always in charge in this situation. This is their courtyard. This is their arena. So you may have been in someone else's, or you may have been in your own, and other people were needing to, or there may have been conflict about that, about who does have this right, who does have this right to stand in this courtyard and make these decisions. And what does the tradition say about that? And who has the right to do that? In your current situation, we have the Hierophant. This is dealing with some sort of institution, to me, this is an ancient institution that has within it the kernels of truth that inspired that institution. That institution may have, again, ballooned out of control and may no longer resemble the kernel of truth it originally meant to. But this could be some sort of tradition, again, traditional wisdom, information being passed down, or participating in some sort of institution of tradition. We're seeing several little crescent moons here. So there is something true, or this could be like revealing or understanding something or learning about some kind of institution. I mean, we could be dealing with justice, we could be dealing with universities, we could be dealing with an institution of marriage, we could be dealing with churches, something like that. And there's some sort of understanding or strong engagement with an institution right now, and with trying to understand what that institution is about, maybe, or just some sort of engagement with it. But in this card in particular, I see that there's some sort of engagement with the kernel of truth that sits and resides inside of each institution, that why we have preserved these institutions, even if they don't always successfully embody the ideal that we first, that humanity first envisioned when they institutionalized this wisdom or this knowledge or this ideal. But you're dealing with something, much bigger, much older, wiser than you are. And I get this from this particular emperor too, standing there in front of in this courtyard of this huge institution. I mean, they're bigger than the institution. They have a lot of control within that institution, but it is still this like big, heavily, strongly establishment. It's the establishment, tradition, and establishment. So you're dealing with traditions, established ways of doing things, institutionalized ways of doing things, that kind of thing. But it's not very satisfying, because in your hopes and fears column, your inner landscape, you're thinking about, you know what? I don't think I actually want this. I don't think this is for me. Here's your intuition here, and it's leading you forward. A lot of people, a lot of beings, a lot of critters have found a lot of happiness, satisfaction. They've met their match. They feel well matched, whether that's career, another person, whatever. They have what they need in this place. But you don't. You don't. This situation with this institution or this control or this, I'm trying to, sorry, my phone. So you haven't found what you're looking for here. You've still got to move forward. This isn't the stopping place. And you might be afraid that this is where you've landed, this huge institution, this huge tradition traditional situation that you're landing in, you might be afraid that it's not going to be very satisfying for you and that you're going to have to eventually someday leave, because your heart calls you forward and it always wins. Like, there's no arguing with it. You can do it for a time, but it's not. And you might be worried that you're not going to be satisfied in this place, that this isn't really the right place for you, but you'd like to move forward. Or you might be hoping for, okay, I may be stuck in this situation right now, but someday I know that this isn't where I want to be forever. I know this isn't for me forever. It might be fine for other people, not that they're less than me, but this is just the place where they have found their fulfillment, but not for me. Not for me. I'm being called through this place, but to something else. So that's a hope, that's a fear, that's something that might be really weighing on your mind. Are you happy here? Are you happy in this situation with this huge institution, or with this traditional situation, this traditional power structure? Are you happy with that? Are you going to be happy with that? Or are you going to need to move on someday? Are you not, or are you worried that you're going to move on? Or are you hopeful that you can move on from this unsatisfying situation? So you might be worried about being satisfied here for a long term. In the place where you're landing right now, where you are right now. What's at issue here is this reverse strength. Someone here doesn't have the strength to keep doing this, there's some sort of power dynamic here that's not worth it. And you don't have the strength to continue on, or something just, it doesn't look well matched. It doesn't look like a good match, or it doesn't look like there's patience here. There's no patience. There's no more strength. Someone here has just run out of stamina, run out of strength. There's maybe a lack of self-control going on here. I mean, especially if we've been dealing with some sort of control issue, power issue. There's a lack of, there's somebody here that doesn't want to do this anymore. Doesn't want to keep going on in this way. Doesn't have, all of their strength has been used up. They're no longer able to control the beast within. They are no longer able to do this, to go this traditional route, or to adhere to conform to the expectations. There's some kind of weakness here that's showing up. I don't know what kind of weakness. It could be moral weakness. It could be just some kind of just not feeling strong enough to deal with this, or not feeling, somebody here, it could be you, it could be somebody else. And then in your inner, or in your landscape, in your outer landscape, in your environment, you have 5 of Pentacles. There's something that's just not enough here. And that's what I'm seeing with this 8 of Cups, too, is wanting to move forward. This isn't what I want. And this is really, in your environment, you may be dealing with financial issues. You may be dealing with a lack of support. You may be dealing with some kind of lack here. Something's just not quite enough. You either this Emperor has withheld something and you're feeling impoverished, but there's some sort of situation in your environment with it's just not producing what you wanted it to produce. There's a sense of lack, of there's not enough here. There's not enough. There's something here that's just not adequate. It's not going to meet your needs. It's not something in your environment. And it could be, it really could be financial. There just doesn't seem to be enough. And maybe this is why you need to make some adjustments, because the reality, the 5s are a pretty harsh place in our little tree of life. They're a difficult place of constraint and feeling constrained and feeling like you don't have what you need and you can't make the moves that you want to make. You could be feeling, this is someone here. This might not be you. This may be depicting a place someone else feels like they're powerless and impoverished here. So we have adjustments are required. And if this is the reality, is that there's some sort of impoverishedness, or there's just not enough here to meet all the needs or all the wants of the situation. This almost looks like an unfunded mandate. Here's the Emperor here, you need to do this. This needs to happen now. And here's reality is well, there's no money to do that. You can tell me what to do all you want, but there's not a capability to do it. There's just not the resources that are needed in order to fulfill some sort of obligation, some sort of traditional obligation. There's just not the resources to fulfill that right here. And this is possibly why you're dreaming of moving on, because you didn't find what you're looking for. Right here, right in the physical reality, there's something lacking here in the physical reality. That means that something's not being fulfilled. And then you have the World card in your to-do list. So this is you completing a cycle, finishing something off. This is the orbit has been completed. We are now right back where we started again, and we have completed this year, or we have completed something. So this could be you celebrating your birthday, Capricorn, of another go around the sun there. But also the world has to do with things outside of our control. So you might be needing to acknowledge that something here is outside of your control. This is outside. This is in the cold, left out in the cold. And you may be needing to come to some sort of grips or understanding that something is outside of your control, or something is outside of your control, outside of your arena, outside of your sphere of influence. Something's just outside of it, and what do you do with that? You have to let it go, because it's not something you can do anything about. The other way, the world is a big ending, a huge ending, an ending of it could be quitting your job ending. I mean, these are possible interpretations of the world here in this situation. So this would be your to-do list. What do you need to end? Adjustments are required. Something needs to be adjusted. So what do you need to put a stop to? What cycle, what's outlived its usefulness to you? It could be this institution, could be this power dynamic. Something's you need to finish something, complete something. So maybe it's just a project that you need to finally complete. And maybe you don't feel like you have the resources, but you're going to have to complete it anyway, and bring something to completion. Not ending something. I mean, it could be ending something like a relationship or something, or a job, but it could just be bringing something to completion. This needs to be completed and finished. And maybe you don't feel like you have the resources. Maybe it's not exactly what you wanted, but you're tired and you just need to get it done. Just get it done. Finish it, complete something. And that's your job, is to complete something. You need to make some adjustments. But I think you get to be done with something. I mean, we have new moon eclipse, right? This is powerful. This is a similar powerful energy as this world card. As you know, this says expect powerful change. I think it's just completing something, ending something. It could be, making room for something new to come in. But the world card is the last card in the deck, and it's the end of the journey and completion. So there's something you need to complete here, and you need to finish. Adjustments are required. And where you're going, Queen of Wands. So this is either someone male or female, or a place where you're going. And the Queen of Wands is highly intuitive. She's very in touch. The queens are in their inner landscape. They're very in touch with their inner landscape. This is someone who's very in touch with their own intuition, with their vision, their creative vision, what they want, what they need. They're very in touch with it. And people, it's not the King of Wands who's very obviously charismatic. People genuinely follow them. They can get people excited and get people on board and get people to follow them on anything. This is the Queen of Wands. People are drawn to this person simply for what they do. She just does what she does. This male or female does what she does, and people are drawn to them. They follow that. They're drawn to that inner light. They're drawn to that creative vision. So this could be you having this creative vision, or having this vision. This could be somebody else having this vision. But this is and she's going to definitely be listening to the niggle here. She's highly intuitive. She's very in tune with her creative power, with her intuition here, and people follow that, and people are attracted to that. But that's not even her concern. She doesn't even care. She's just in touch with her own inner light, in touch with her own path, her own guidance system. And so that's either like where you're going, this very independent, creative, powerfully creative person who just is very, they're just doing their own thing. They're just doing their own thing. And this institution and these expectations, and this expectation that you're supposed to be happy with this and all of that, that doesn't matter to the Queen of Wands. So that's either the energy you're headed towards, And you can get there once you finish this, or it's someone that is coming into your life that you're going to be moving towards, or you're going to be meeting someone like that. And you're going to be drawn to them. They're going to be, you know, it's not that she doesn't care. It's just that it doesn't affect what she's doing, what this person does, whether you're drawn to it or not. But you will be drawn to someone who is highly intuitive, highly creative, and just doing their thing. And you may be establishing a relationship with that person, or you may be becoming that person more yourself. All right, Capricorn, I hope that was helpful. I have no idea, since my phone cut out, I have no idea what time we are, but hopefully it wasn't too long. Have a great week.